Um, we're talking with Andre Jergletz with the Finnish national team, and we're going to ask him a few questions about the rise in Finnish football, the effects of Euro 2009 afterwards, and especially being here at the Algarve during the World Cup year, what he expects from his mixture of young and experienced Finnish players. Okay, to start with, what difference is there have you seen with your team compared to last year?
I think we have quite many differences. We have now a team. We have changed a couple of players. Some players have quit because they were old, and some players we have switched. So now we have a team that is very good football players. They control the ball very much, and they likes to be in attacking team, and that is important for me when I'm building this team, that I would like to have the best football players, and that is what we have improved during this last year. So I think we are a better team this year, much better than last year.
How have you improved as a coach? I mean, going from club level, and now it's 1 year in the job as a national team.
I think I've changed. Somebody else has to answer that question, but I think it's important for me when I work as a national coach that I'm very determined what I would like to have from the team, and that I really say how I feel it's important for us to work and what we should do, and in those few training sessions and meetings that we have, that I'm very frank and say exactly what we are aiming for. Then of course I also need to understand that I have just a few effects on the players during these days. It's what the clubs are doing and what they are doing between the camps is the most important part.
Do you talk much with the clubs?
Yeah, it's important for me to have a good relationship with all the clubs, because the clubs are they are the key things in this, because they are responsible for the players' education, and we are having them in some different games and camps, but it's the most of their education is doing in clubs.
Coming from Sweden and such a big club and with players of a higher level, and then coming to Finland, are the goals different?
Yeah, I think that Finland is putting themselves too low on the scale of what is good and what is bad, because there is very good football players in Finland, in my opinion, and it's up to us to really raise them to the right level, because I think that it's a lot of things is mental. If you always think that you are the kid sister to Sweden and that you're not good enough and you don't win the most important, then you will never win those important games. But if you have ability and thought and think that this is what we can do, and we are good football players, and we encourage the players to dare and do those things and believe in that, then I think that this team can go very, very far.
How far?
Yeah, I think that we are aiming to qualify for Euro 2013. So that is the first step, and then when we are there, then everything can happen, and hopefully we are even further with this team than we are today.
Coming from Euro 2009, have you seen, how did that affect? What affects?
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of things in Finland that was built up for 2009 Euro in Finland. It was a huge success for the country and also for the national team who qualified for the group and went to the second phase. But the biggest problem was, in my opinion, that everything was focused on that tournament, and a lot of players after that were tired and felt that now I've reached this limit, so now we need to start from the beginning. So yeah, both I think, and maybe most mentally. And there were a lot of older players, and they felt that now I've reached the limit, and now I need to think of other things. So we needed to start again, and that's where we are right now. And I think that during this last year we have improved so many things that I think that we are on the right track again. But the first year was tough. Last year was very tough for us because we didn't play very well here in Algarve. We realized what we needed to work on, and we changed some players, and we developed our physical status also. But we didn't manage to beat Italy in those qualification games. But in the autumn we have good camps and played some good games, and now I think we are on the right track again.
Will we be going to the World Cup and seeing how? Do you like to see how other nations develop?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to World Cup and to see what is the key things in winning. How do the teams work, and what do they do that we can use in Finland? But I think it's the most important to understand that where are we in Finland right now? What is our strengths and what is our weaknesses, and build on that. Not aiming to do exactly as United States or Germany do. We need to put things that they are very good in and try to get it to our culture in Sweden and in Finland. But we have to do it our way.
Yeah.
And that is what we are trying to find in Germany in the summer.
Yeah, I've spoken to other Norwegian coaches at club level and other Swedish and not so much Finnish, but I would say they've always had a good team mentality, but never as much individual as England or Brazil. And do you think you can try to change?
Yeah, I think that the team spirit is good in this team. We are good and solid. In Finnish way of thinking, they are good in defending and make sure that no one is attacking them and save the things that you own. But if you would like to win things, you need to attack. And you need to take new things that you don't have, not just protecting what you have. And that is what we are working with now. And that is maybe the most different and difficult part that we are trying to achieve with these players. But we are on a right way, and the new young players is having another mentality than the older players. And I think it's the same in Sweden and Norway and Finland. But they are more brave. They are more. They know what they can do. The self-confidence is normally a little bit bigger. So I think we have to use that in some part.
Is there a point within you where, like you said, you changed the team, but do you feel like, as a coach, do you feel, okay, if I'm going to implement some changes, I must focus on the next generation?
Yeah, that is always tricky question, because of course I need to live here and now and make performances right now, but I also need to focus on what we are going to do in 5 years. So I think that there has to be a mix. But now I think that it's important that you have a good structure in the FA, so that all national teams are having the same thoughts, which means that all the players that is taking the step up to the national team is some kind of made in the same way of thinking, and mentality is strong and really believe in what you're doing.
Do you think the same way of playing on
the same way of playing also, of course, it's affecting that. I think that's important. And the key thing is, when you pick how you should play, is what is the strength in Finnish football, and how do we use our best players? And that is the way we should play football.
Is it difficult to because there's two thoughts I'm thinking, for some of the coaches we speak to or manage this, like you've come with experience of at the top level, and you develop things with the Finnish FA, so the style of play is similar. But if you decide to leave, and the new coach takes over the A team, then you have players who've played the 4-3-3 for, would it be hard for them?
No, I think that that is not my intention to do. I think that my goal and my mission in the FA is also to build a system that is depending on what kind of football players we have in Finland and what kind of players we're going to have in the closest 5 to 10 years. So that is my goal, to have a way of developing players and educating players that is built on what we have in Finland, not my ideas and not what I think is winning. It's what we have in Finland.
You have to work with what you
I need to work where we are right now. Otherwise, I don't know when it's good and when it's bad. I really need to. This is what I have right now, and this is what we're aiming for. And the path needs to be through all national teams, and it doesn't matter who the coach is.
Okay,
it has to be something in the generation of